everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I don't know if we are allowed to speak, but it's fine. Thank you. There's no time. So, first and foremost, I know that I've had a bit of from my profile. You've seen that I'm into natural hair and all of that. So, I came into the UK in 2021 September, and honestly, prior to that, my hair has been natural for 8 years now. Yeah, it will be 8 years next month. And, all the things that I knew about natural hair, the information I have that I give people and everything, I was having the first-hand experience of my hair of the cold hitting my hair, like the extreme weather hitting my hair. I grew up in the north, but I did not have, then now it's not compared. You cannot even compare it to this. Really, that's it. But upon arrival, I mean, there was so much that happened, and it just affected my hair so much. Trying to move. We were moving from Nigeria, moving to this place, settling in the cold, and everything was just a mess. For like 6 months, I mean, my hair was not my hair, as it were. And I was like, what is happening? When you look at it and you're like, am I sure I know what I know? Like, what's happening? Anyway, cut the long story short, I decided that moving forward, number one, I was going to take better care of everything, be on top of my game. And number two, every other naturalista that comes in after me is not going to suffer what I suffered. I'm going to make it my mission to ensure that I educate people about it and everything. All right. So having said that, now when we talk about natural hair, I know that so many people associate natural hair with pain, with to manage it, with not being able to explore with styling and all of that. But I want to tell you that those things are myths. They are myths, largely myths. Number one, I like to ensure that people understand natural hair, understand their hair. And then once you understand it, you'll be able to make informed decisions. And then I always say something that your hairstylist cannot love your hair more than you. Why? The hair is on your head. The hair is on your head. There's only so much that your stylist can do. That's the truth. There's only so much. So if you're on top of your game and you know the basics, you'll be able to care for your hair, even when you don't have someone around. You'll be able to care for your daughter's hair, because most of us have daughters and we have daughters. You know that you are taking the power out of the stylist's hands at its way and claiming the power back for yourself. And then half of the time...
Sorry, I just want to say that's a really important point. Your hairstylist cannot love your hair more than you. So you have to understand your hair. I just wanted to repeat that. Very, very powerful. Please go on.
So now another thing that I was worried about, which made me decide that it would be my preservation, apart from the whole cold and everything, I noticed that, of course, the idea when people are relocating from outside of the UK, coming into the UK and all of that, there's that idea that, there's a lot of money to be made in the hairdressing sector and all of that. And everybody just rushes to go and learn YouTube videos, just does shortcuts to learning things and all of that, and then begin to practice with people's hairs. You understand? And then making money off of you. And then you would have even gotten into the situation before you realize that, oh my God, I'm in a mess and I cannot fix it as I'm sitting here. So let me just get it over and done with. Next time it won't happen. But by then, most of the time, your hair might have suffered too much damage. So by the time you understand. So I realized that when you let people, when I educate people, you will know what to look out for. So that is that about that.
So what to look out for in a stylist that you're allowed to touch your hair in the first place? Not everybody that says they can do hair can actually do hair.
Can actually do hair. And some of them might even know how to do hair, but can they care for your hair the appropriate way? You understand? It's not just about doing the hair, but what are the before and after care for the hair? You understand? So, all right. So the takeaways from this class definitely are: you learn the essential products and tools that you need for your hair, how to avoid the winter loss, and to manage your hair without pain. All right. So now for essential products and tools you need for your hair. Most people think that you need to buy everything that is in the market, or you need to, when you see products and you see it's a natural hair product, you rush and get it. Half of the time, you don't need more than 5 products. You understand? You don't need more than 5 products. What do I mean by 5 products? When I ask people that what are the products you have, they will be like, oh, I have this brand, I have this brand, I have this brand. And they show me all sorts of brands. And when I look at it, eventually I realize that 2 out of 3 brands are doing the same work, you understand? But they don't know. So now, when you talk about these products, what are the products you're talking about? You're talking about a shampoo. Now, because of the location that we are in, the weather is very, very harsh. Moisture, you're going to be dealing with a lot of lack of moisture in your skin and in your hair. If you think that's not true, check your skin. You'll say that your skin is drier than normal.
Yes, so very flaky.
Icky, honestly, flaky, and then you see your skin looking like webs and all of that. And you're wondering what's happening. You understand? That is extreme dryness working on your skin and on your hair. So you have to consistently infuse moisture as much as possible. Now, when I talk about shampoos, I'll favor shampoos that are moisturizing because they will infuse moisture into your hair. When your hair lacks moisture, what will it do? It will break. I always like to use an example. You know, when you take a branch of a tree, the one that is dry and one that is wet, the dry one will snap quicker than the wet one because it is extremely dry. That is the same thing with our hair. Then our hair is fragile. When you now put in dryness into that mix, you see that you're dealing with too much breakage, which will not be. Now, the next important thing you should have is a leave-in conditioner.
So sorry, So sorry, Lola, let me stop you there. When you say shampoo, it has to be moisturizing. Are you saying any brand? It doesn't matter if the brand is quote and unquote for white hair or not?
No, not any brand. Okay. Now, when it comes to hair products, natural hair products, I favor made in Nigeria or made in West African products more. The reason is there are so many reasons. Number one, these formulators have this kind of hair. They know the hair needs. They've been there. They know what your hair needs. So when they are formulating, the moisture content of all the ingredients they are going to put in, they will put that in, they'll factor that in when they are making the products. You understand? Another thing is, when we talk about ingredients like shea butter is grown only in Africa, only in the world, only in Africa. So the content we will use, the percentage we will use will be greater than that of anybody outside of Africa because we don't need to import it. You understand? We don't need to import. We are getting it cheap and we are using, and then everybody wants to be on top of their game. Like, why would I be selling products and it's not working? I want to be on top of my game. You understand? But if you are going to foreign brands, especially American brands, I'm not saying they are not good, but they are not for our 4C type of hair. Our kinky, nappy hair, they are not for it. They are usually for the type 3 hair, which is looser in curls. You understand? Then they have to export export products from Nigeria to theirs. So they will factor in all of that, and the percentage you're going to use will definitely not be as much as us. You understand? So these are some of the things that come into play. And the truth is, West African and Nigerian products, I've tried quite a number of them, and I can say for sure that your hair is in safe hands when you use most of them. You understand? So you want to think about that. But that's not the only shampoo that is available for you to use. We also have a clarifying shampoo. What a clarifying shampoo does is to strip your hair. You know, after loading on of products and all of that, it will get to a point where your hair is oversaturated with products, where even when you wash, it's not thoroughly clean and clear. So there'll be build-up. What the clarifying shampoo does is to clear the build-up. But because it strips your hair of build-up, it also has the potential of stripping your hair of natural oils, which will also lead to dryness. So you shouldn't use it all of the time. Once in maybe 2 months is fine, you understand? Or once in 6 weeks at most, at most, once in 6 weeks. But once in 2 months, once in 3 months, it's fine, you understand? And you know that your hair will do fine again for the next couple of months, you understand? But the moisturizing one, you cannot get, that one is the one you have to use consistently because it infuses the hair with moisture consistently. Now, the next thing that you need is
and how often would you advise that we wash our hair?
Wash your hair. The truth is, there is no one size fits all for everybody because it depends on, it varies from person to person. It depends on the type of job you do. Are you an outdoorsy kind of person? Are you someone that likes to work out a lot? Are you someone that, these are factors that come into play. So, and then if you are the type that does a lot of maybe Ayurvedic DIYs, a lot of all this stuff, you need to wash more often because before you know it, your hair is piled up with so much gunk and all of that and build up. So you need to wash off as much as often. If you are the type of person that likes to do DIY styling using a lot of gels, you will be washing your hair more often. You understand?
Okay.
Then if you are dealing with maybe dries with flakes, dandruff, a mild case of dandruff, you might look into washing your hair more often. You understand?
Okay.
So that's another thing.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay.
So the other ones, I will just quickly rush through them so that I'm also conscious of time, because I know we are far behind time.
Yes.
We have the leave-in conditioner, very essential. If you don't have anything at all, you need a leave-in conditioner. If you don't have anything at all, you must get a leave-in conditioner. It is a must. That is one powerful product that most naturalists with good, healthy, long hair, they cannot do without it. Because when you are taking down your hair, when you are moisturizing your hair, it is just like the foundation for so many things. Then the rinse out conditioner, most of the store-bought rinse out conditioners you are going to get are largely good. They have very good silicone in them, which gives the shine to the hair when you apply your conditioner, rinse out conditioner and all. Then the scalp oil is actually very good. It also, for those that have extremely dry scalp, you definitely be looking into oils too. Then for hair butters, which has shea butter as its base most of the time, shea butter, cocoa butter, and mango butter, and all the butters. It replaces your hair cream, as it were. Hair cream, is like your hair cream. Then a deep conditioner. Deep conditioner is another very key one. You must deep condition your hair. Any naturalista that wants to be serious about that, even non-naturalistas, it's just like saying that I want to be healthy and I don't eat. It will not work that way. Deep conditioner is the food for your hair. Now, we can have a moisturizing deep conditioner and a protein deep conditioner. For people who have low porosity hair, they want to be careful with protein treatment. People that have fine strands of hair, people that have very thin strands of hair, such that you see that they want to be careful with protein treatment, because protein, when it's overloaded on the hair, it breaks the hair. So you can do protein treatment like once in 6 weeks. It's fine. Then the moisturizing deep conditioner, you can do every other week. Some people get away with every week, but overdoing, I think once in 2 weeks is fine. You understand? For someone that really does not do too much protective styling and all of that. So having said that, the next thing is what tools do you need as a naturalist? Talking of steaming cap, you must use a steaming cap. It's very important to use a steaming cap when you are deep conditioning your hair, because the way the layers of the hair are built, they are like scales overlapping. So when those scales do not lift up, what the heat does is that it lifts up those scales so that your hair can absorb the essence of the deep conditioner. If you don't use a steaming cap, it will just sit on it, and the cuticles are not lifted up. So the thing is just sitting on it, and you've just sat down for a very long time, and you have just done an exercise in vain. So you must use your heat cap. Then a white-toothed comb. Please, please, please do not comb your hair with any comb that the space in between it is not as wide. I'm trying to see if I can. My own is somewhere here, yeah. But please, you cannot afford to comb your hair with any comb that does not have as much as about 3 inches width in between the teeth. And then it has to be seamless. When they say seamless comb, when you look, there are some combs that when you look in between the teeth, you see some raised edges of when the comb is being produced, the rubber melted off or something. Those raised edges, they can snag on your hair and destroy your hair. So you want to look for the one that has a seamless joining. You can even look into combs that are made from sandalwood. That's actually another very good option. Then we have bands, hair bands, outless bands that you need to. Don't use rubber bands, please. If you use rubber bands, please just gently get down from that table. I'm not looking.
So outless bands.
Yes. Then spray bottles. Okay, I'm going to drop those pictures in the. I'll try to get in the group.
Yes, please, that'll be helpful.
Okay, then spray bottles. You might need a spray bottle, because when you're moisturizing your hair, you like to go in with water first, then leave-in conditioner, then you seal your leave-in conditioner and all the moisture with your hair butter or your hair oil, whichever one you want. Then sectioning clips. Those are for holding off your hair when you're working, so that your hair is not falling in the way and you're just everything's a mess. Then your satin bonnet or silk bonnet that is like the holy grail of keeping your hair healthy. Because one thing I try to do is, once I enter the house, I put on my satin bonnet or tie my scarf, because when I want to take off my clothes or I sit on the couch, if it's not leather, and all of that. Your hair snags, all those little snaggings is part of the hair. See, you want to every single hair possible. And then when you moisturize your hair and you sleep off, you find out that before you wake up in the morning, the atmosphere has sucked off all the moisture. You understand? But that what it does, it traps the moisture in. You get it traps it in. Some people say, no, I don't really like scarf or this. I would rather a pillowcase. But you remember that when you lie down your pillowcase, just one side of your head that is lying on the pillowcase, and the remaining is exposed. So you want to consider and start gravitating towards the satin bonnet and scarf. So now, having said that, when I'm now going to winter hair loss and how to avoid it. Honestly, the weather is super harsh, and we know that, just like I had said. Now, moisture is your friend. Moisture is your friend. You must moisturize. When I talk about moisture, I have some of the videos for this that I did on my that I made on my Instagram page. So what I'll do to cut short the time is to send the links of those videos so that you can see how to moisturize properly and all of that. And then don't neglect drinking of water. I'm also guilty of this. Drinking of water, because water helps the nutrients to circulate in your body, helps your blood to flow too, and your hair draws from these nutrients, draws from the blood supply. So if it's not circulating properly, your hair will not be feeding well. So moisture, both from the outside and inside, you want to meet it halfway, please. Then protective styling is very important. Protective styling. When we say protective styling, these are when it's the colder times of the year, you want to keep your hair away from the elements. The elements as in the wind and all of that, because those are the things that attack your hair and then puts a lot of tension on your hair, whether you want it or not. That's why the ends of your hair, which are exposed to styling, exposed to all that, is usually the weakest because it's the oldest that is exposed to it. So your styles must be protective in that they keep your hair tucked in. Apart from keeping it tucked in, it keeps your ends tucked away and safe, okay? And then you're not having your hand in it all of the time. If you braid your hair, you should not change your styles every day. You are over manipulating your hair. Your hair will break because it is your hair that is inside that braid that you're manipulating. So apart from protective styling, you must look at styles that are low manipulation, okay? Low manipulation. This, what I have on now, my hair is tucked away, is 2 chunky twists at the back, and I rolled the ends. I tucked it in with an outless back. And then my tips are secured in these beads, and I tucked everything in and secured it with a rubber band. So everything okay that way, you understand? And this is a simple style.
Sorry, when you say protective style, so it doesn't have to be braids. It can be what you have. So what you have on your head now is considered protective style. It's just that the ends need to be tucked away. That's the key as well. Away.
Yes. Okay. And then another thing is, when you use extensions on your hair is more prone to dryness because the extensions suck some of the moisture out of your hair. That is why when your hair braids, you must moisturize your hair. That explains for when people take out braids, you see chunks of hair when they have lost so much hair. Yes, you should shed 50 to 100 strands of hair daily. That's the natural biology of the body. You can't do anything about that. But the extra ones you are losing, those are the ones that are in your hands for you not to lose. You understand? Right. So that one comes off when your hair is extremely... You can imagine someone keeping that does not moisturize her hair completely and is in this kind of mate and now keeps her braids in for 6 months, 3 months. It is too much. It is too much. Moisturize. I'm going to send the video of how to moisturize. That same thing is what you're going to do to your hair in braids. The only thing is that you just keep it up to the point where your hair is in the braids and you are good. But I always advise that instead of butters for braids, use oils because oils are lighter. They won't weigh down your braids. And then wash braids to wash. That's part of the moisturizing. But you don't deep condition when you have braids in. You're just going to waste your deep conditioner. Now, having said that, products, we have talked about products and getting good products for your hair. Most of them, especially the ones that, the reason why I spoke about the African-made products because we use a higher concentration of natural things because they are found in Africa and all of that. So that's what. And diet, your diet is very key because your body feeds from this nutrient. There was a day a lady came to the salon. She told me about her aunt and said, my aunt has not been feeling her hair. When you touch her hair, the hair comes off in chunks. And I was like, is she a cancer patient or something? She said, no, okay, let her see me. As soon as she came in, the first thing I observed was she was looking very frail, very frail. Elderly, no doubt, but very frail for even her age. And I asked her, when she complained and all of that, I saw the hair. Of course, there was sparse distribution of hair and everything. And when I saw it, it was not like there was serious hair loss per se, but it was diffuse, like just scattered around the head. And I asked, okay. And she said, after asking, I said, are you sure you're not a cancer patient? She said, no, okay, fine. The next thing that just occurred to me was, after looking at her, she looked like she was anemic too. I don't know. But I now asked her, I said, you fast a lot? And she said, yes. Go and see no more. You are fasting too. Your body is shut down. And then the way the body is that when the body prioritizes, your body will see that and say, Lola looks like she's going to shock, or something is wrong with her. Let me prioritize what organs I'm going to preserve. Your hair is the last organ your body will preserve because it is not useful. Your hair is the last. This hair, once it grows out of your scalp, it is dead. That's why when you cut it, you don't feel pain. There's no nerve ending, there's nothing. But while it is still underneath your scalp, it is alive. But once it crosses and it comes out, it is dead. So your body will prioritize and say, I cannot make her go blind. She needs her eyes. I cannot remove her hand. This hair is what I will shed. That's why when you see cancer patients will lose their hair. When people are ill, anorexic, they will lose hair and all of that because the hair is the first thing that the body will shed. Let you get back into it. So your diet is very key. Then one thing that a lot of people don't know are vitamin D levels. As we get into these colder climes, your vitamin D levels drop. It drops so quickly that as within 1 month, if you carry out a test with your GP, trust me, within a month, your vitamin D levels are super, super low. You will be told to be on vitamin D. That's one thing I quickly adjusted to. After I discovered that, I just neglected it. I wasn't taking my supplements. I wasn't taking anything. So vitamin D levels in the colder months is very, very important because it impacts upon your hair. All those, my hair was breaking beyond normal. My mood was so bad. I was feeling depressed. It just affects your entire system and your hair will suffer for it. Even your nails and all of that. Then your regimen, you must build a good regimen, a good routine. You decide that, okay, I will moisturize my hair every 2 days. I'll wash my hair every other week and I will be consistent with it. The trick is in consistency. The trick. It is difficult during the colder months because by the time you think about when I want to wash my hair, it's cold and all of that. But you just have to get into the routine. When you get into the routine and you master it, that is when you begin to know your hair. Oh, my hair reacts this way if I wash it too early, or my hair reacts this way if I don't deep condition now. If you don't get into it, you don't understand your hair. So now, sorry, I'm trying to.
It's okay. I feel like I'm in crash course. Don't worry, we'll ask you the questions in the group after whatever.
All right, that's fine.
So please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so now, how to grow your hair without pain? I always say this thing: beauty without pain, because I dislike when people associate beauty with pain. I dislike it completely. And the funny part is, okay, where I got to know that the truth, I'm actually quite good with this beauty without pain thing was in the salon. At some point, I decided that I was not going to be attending to little children. In fact, my stylist, I thought, I'm not patient and all of that. But when the children started coming, I just sat down one day and it was like God just spoke to me and said, Lola, you know what to do. So you let these children endure pain in other places. And I was like, what is this now? And I opened up the salon to children. But the funny part is anytime they come to the salon, I'm telling you that when they are leaving, they always tell their parents, none of them goes back to where they were coming from. They'll be like, we want to go to the last place. Why? Because my head does not hurt. That is the same. That's the thing. And if you can do that with little children, children do not need to lie to anyone. That means there's something that is working where people don't know. That is what they need to do. The first thing is, as a leave-in conditioner is your friend, a leave-in conditioner provides enough sleep for your hair to separate properly such that you will not feel pain. Now, you want to separate hair that is intertwined. Let's look at a spring. These curly springs that are usually in maybe remote controls and all that. Lump up a lot of, they are going to curl and intertwine and all of that. If you want to separate them, you have to look for the tip, begin to remove. And you cannot just pull from the center and remove it. It will not work. It will not even come undone. That is the way it works with hair. You have to start from the tip. You want to use a comb, you dig into the base and begin to pull. You are going to yank off everything along the path of that comb. You have to work in smaller sections, patiently detangle from the tip and work your way down to the root. That way, you are not experiencing any pain. And I always say that before you go in with your comb, use your fingers. Your fingers are gentle. You know, you have nerves, you can feel your hair, you can feel your fingers, you can feel everything. Begin to detangle gently. I have another video that I did a live and I was detangling my hair while doing it so that people can see. Work in sections, small sections. Don't be in a rush. Divide your hair into 4, 6, 8 as the fuller and longer the hair, the more sections you should work in, because there's a lot of hair you want to work with. And if you pull on the hair, imagine pulling one hair from your skin. You know how painful it is. Now put it on your head.
Yeah.
So God forgive those hairdressers that put us all through that. And then, so when you do that, honestly, once you can master that, pain will be far from you. And then these things, mastering this beauty without pain is that one of the advantages is that you will retain length. You will retain length. Hair growth happens from within. It happens from within. That's why when you see people that know this or they make products, they will not tell you that products grow hair, because products do play a very little part of hair growth. Very little part. Your hair is growing of its own accord, but you are not retaining length because you have not mastered length retention at the ends. You see that hair that you are talking about, it occurs at the tip. You see the tips that are the frailest and the oldest. You want to handle it with extra hair. Now, your hair has grown. I'm sorry, please. Let me see if the hair block is. Now, I don't know.
Can you your background is blurred, so we're not seeing.
Okay, can you that? I don't know. How do I?
I think there's a setting at the bottom where you have video where it says blur my background. If you can, do you see that? Yeah, if you can turn that off.
Okay, yes.
Perfect. So we can see now.
Okay. So now, look at this.
I feel like I'm in biology class, man. Hair biology class. Please carry on.
I'm sorry, I'm just being sample. Sorry. So this hair block is just showing how your skin is. You understand? How your hair should look like from the within and all. This hair follicle now. This is a hair follicle. This is the hair. Now, this hair, supposing you grow about 2 inches on the average every month, okay? 2 inches of hair. You should have 2 inches of hair growth every month at the end of every month. Now, this one, 8 inches already that is outside, okay? When you add 2 inches growth to the 8 inches, you have 10 inches. But now, you now have that 10 inches, but out of carelessness or sheer negligence or recklessness, whatever you want to call it, you now lose 4 inches. When you were combing, when you were detangling anyhow, when you let the hairdresser do anyhow to eat and all of that, your 10 inches is now reduced to 6 inches, back to 6 inches because you lost 4 inches here. You understand? So this is where the trick of hair growth lies. The hair is growing from here, but the length retention is happening here. This is where you have to master it, where you have to master your detangling gently, master your products, master your regimen, master your consistency, so that you are not losing the hard work that has come from here. You are not losing it here and losing double portion. I don't know if we understand.
Very clear. Yeah, it's very clear. Thank you.
So if you don't remember anything, just remember that mathematics I just explained now. Now, for those of us with shorter hair, love your hair at any length. Let me tell you, if I put my hair into a pineapple now, it's just going to fall and be droopy and look like a plant that does not have life. It's so annoying. Before, when my hair was like maybe about 4-6 inches, when I put it into an Afro puff and pineapple, it looks so good. And love your hair at every point. There are different styling options for every hair at every point. Love your hair. Don't look at another. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So don't stress yourself. Another person has that. You don't want to know the worries they have with their long hair. It's an Olympic exercise. Now, the last thing, not all hairstyles are for your hair. Look away. All those people, Tim, I want to change my face. What? You cannot change your face. That is the truth. You cannot change your look. You are you. Accept it. Go and think of, go and look for how you consider styling options that. But you cannot want to burn your candle on both ends. You can't have good, healthy hair and at the same time doing all kinds of hair. It's not possible. Someone like me, I've probably done Ghana weaving in my life, my entire life, only 2 times. Because I know it's not for my hair. If you have thin, fragile hair, my hair now, my edges were so bad before. They are good now, all good now and everything. But still, I do not do some kinds of hair. I do not do adimole. I do not do weaving that starts from, I must brush it because my adimole, especially if your edges.
What's adimole?
that Didi, that inverted
Okay.
If you did not hear it anyway, I can defend it with my full chest. Like, if you're suffering, your edges are suffering, run far away from that adimole. Run far away. You must braid your hair. Braid your hair. Do not let braids. It is safer for your scalp, safer for your hair, safer for your edges. So I think, yeah. I'm sorry.
Knotless braids are more advisable.
Yes.
Much more.
Yes.
Okay.
If you do Ghana weaving, let the braider start with your hair. Do not allow them start with extensions. It will end badly. It will end in tears. It will end in tears. Now, the things you should look out for in stylists that you know that you'll be safe with. Number one, do they have a track record? Ask them. These times have changed. You can't tell me that you are a hairstylist and you are not on social media where we can see your works. You understand? Where we can see what people are saying. That is one. Number two, I have to know how your hair is doing. Even if you don't tell me, or maybe you have your hair covered or something, I have to see it. I have to see the proof that your own hair can speak for you. That's another thing. Then number three.
Really? So you use that as a guide. If their hair looks wow, you don't trust them.
It's not looks wow, but somebody that obviously has hair loss and is telling me that I can take care of my hair. How now? You understand? Somebody that hair loss, not because the person, there's hair loss that is triggered by a genetic condition that is triggered by and all of that, you understand? Not that. But somebody that does not obviously take care of her hair, that is so obvious. There are some people, maybe because it is my field, I will know when I know. You understand? Then then another thing is, there are some of the things that I tell you, someone like me now, when you sit in this thing, when I see your hair, I will know that the style you want to choose, I will not do it for you. My name will not be in that mix, because I'll let you go. It's not about the money, but when hair loss happens, there is no way my name will not be in the mix. You understand? When I see your hair texture, I know that some styles are not safe for you. So I will not do it. We've done that for many people in the salon and they feel angry, and I'm like, it is not safe for your hair. I will not do it because I know the aftermath. You understand? Are they more concerned about the style they want to do for you, or they are more concerned about the health of your hair? Those are the things you should look out for. Can they advise you about your styling option based on your kind of hair? You understand? So these are the things you want to look out for. So now, having said all of that, I know that this is a crash course, as we said.
Yeah.
So the ways I can help you is, I can help you if you are having issues with your hair in any form. I do one-on-one consultations. We dig into what the causes of the issues are, possible solutions, help you build a regimen, and then basically is a no holds barred session where anything at all about your hair, just let me know. Then I also have a hair book. I wrote it in December. The hair book is like the starting point where even if you don't need to book a one-on-one consultation, but you need to check back on things and look at how you can help grow your hair from ground zero upwards and everything. A lot in it. Then of course I provide styling services, but I'm removing braids from, I don't know, I'm not braids. God, I don't know. I'm beginning to look away from braids because it's too consuming,
Right.
So that's one. Then product formulator. So I don't knock products. That's not me, because most people just need guide. They just need guidelines. Right. When people ask me, oh, Lola, I want to buy your products, I ask first, what do you have? Let me see the things you have, because it's not about buying my products, but knowing the right things to buy. You might already have those right things, and just before you waste money, I don't believe in wastage. That's the problem. I don't believe in wastage. So let us, if you think it's not working, how can we tweak it to work? You understand? Most times it's not about it not working, but it's about maybe you're not doing it the right way. You're not following manufacturers' instructions. So I don't know products. You don't have to buy from me, but you have to buy. That's what I'm more concerned about. Then, of course, my Instagram page and Facebook page, you have a lot of free tips and all of that there. You can scroll down, there's a lot of information and all that, as educative as possible. So that's
fantastic. So you drop that for us in the group.
I will.
Thank you, Lola. Did you know that one of your skills is talking fast? If you didn't know, you should know.
Oh, God.
The way you no. But I know because of time, like you said, we have a few questions here that I really want to get through. But thank you so much. Has been
we could take it. If everybody is not, I'm not like.
You're not in a hurry. Okay, let's say we'll stay till. Okay, let's shall be going. Anybody that needs to jump off, you can jump off. But maybe we'll wrap up in the next 10 minutes if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, Max, fantastic. So this has been very informative. I really like how you said, having natural hair doesn't have to be painful. I love what you said about mastering beauty without pain. All very important. I also like the way you made it very clear that why the cold affects our hair. I just know that during winter months, our hair doesn't do as well, but what exactly it is, what's going on, it's very helpful how you've talked about protective styles and how it's about tucking in the ends. So I had twist in my hair that I carried from Lagos in December, right? Because I just said I wanted to grow my hair. So I had it in twist. And when I took it out, a lot of hair came out. And when I realized now with what you said, my ends were not protected. So it was just my twist and I was going around with that. I didn't cover it. I didn't wear wigs or anything. It was just that. So I think that had a long-term effect. And I wasn't as consistent with my moisturizing. I don't think I washed it. I'm shy to say, but I'm not sure I ever washed it.
It was safe.
But now I know. So let's go to our questions. Yetty, was my namesake here. Yetty wants to know, she said, can we see the hair brand products you use? So I don't know if you have them there to show or...
They are downstairs. Okay. Yeah. How can I put it? Okay, there's only one. They have downstairs because but I won't produce until the next 2 weeks because I have to travel out of town. So there won't be production for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have
But I have the pictures.
Okay, but you can share it maybe?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. And then when you say that it's better for us to buy, the way you've also explained why it makes sense to buy hair and products from West Africa and Nigeria, I never thought of it that way. Where we're made to think that our way products are better, right? But when you explain the breakdown of how shea butter is available locally in Nigeria, so they're going to put more of some of these things in the products. It's going to actually be more affordable when you compare it to buying from abroad. And the first time I experienced that was when I went home in December. My hair was just not really thriving. I went to a stylist and she said, your hair can be so much better. Please, I have products I want you to try. And one of the first things she gave me was something for my edges. Up to then, my edges were as if they were running away. They were hiding. But after I used this product regularly, I was like, oh my God, I have baby hair. It actually grew. So you're right. I think our products have a lot in them if we know the right ones from the right people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So another question here from Lola is how do we manage extra dry scalp that's prone to flakiness?
Okay. So you see that flakes. I don't know what size the flakes are. Okay. I don't know what size the flakes. Now, there's this I observed too when I came here is the dryness. Once I just this little motion,
it will just come.
Just come off. It's not the skin. It's just the dry skin. There's really not much you can do about it. But just keep the hair moisturized, keep the scalp moisturized as much as possible. That one is that's just the weather condition happening to you. Okay. But you see when it graduates to as so much flakes that they are so visible, attached to the scalp and chunky, and when you take it off, it looks like cornflakes and all of that. We are talking about an entirely different scalp condition. So if it's not that, you don't have to be worried. However, if it is that, you want to minimize applying products directly to the hair and then to the scalp. Is the hair products are working on is the scalp. Okay. Is the hair. Now a lot of people mistake of piling up hair butters on their scalp. They load the hair butters and load it. They say, especially in terms of all those meats, all those scalp being dry, your hair is scalp. Let us oil your hair. When your hair is dry, the first thing you want to introduce is moisture before you seal it in with the butters. Butters and oils are sealed. When there's a gap and it's dry, when you seal it in with hair butter, you're sealing in the dryness. That's why you must in conditioner, water-based leave-in conditioner, which is moisture, and then you seal in with hair butter. So if you now apply the butters to your scalp directly and your hair is not the dry one I'm talking about, apply directly, the all of the bacteria that has to do with all that dandruff and all of that, they feed, they grow, they thrive in all that there's oil and all that. Your hair itself, your scalp itself produces sebum, produces oils. So the ones you apply to the hair, when it melts in the strands and goes to your scalp, it suffices. It is more than enough. It's more than enough. Now, if it is extra that you will just do a little of the leave-in, just little goes a long way, and they seal it in with oil. I prefer oil for the scalp because they're lighter, but not butters. Butters for your hair.
Okay. Wow, that's good to know. Okay. Next comment here is just Yemi. I think she was referring to when you talked about the pineapple when it's looking very sparse or scarce. Because when it's short and full and it looks nice, we want length, but when it gets longer, then it's not as doesn't look as much as the pineapple. But we pick and choose our wins. Okay, what else? Next question is, how long can we keep knotless braids for?
Oh, good. So I, for one, I recommend no more than 8 weeks, not more than 8 weeks, because ideally you should deep condition your hair. If you are being lazy at all, you must deep condition your hair at least once a month. How can you not get away with 2 months of not deep conditioning? You understand? It does not. 8 weeks that's for me, is being too generous. 6 weeks is fine. You understand? Because as I said, when you have extensions in your hair, the hair gets drier. You understand? So I know that, yes, we braid with a lot of money, quote and unquote, because you wouldn't exactly blame braid because it's a work. But at the same time, your hair health is more important than the money you pay, really. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I guess the idea is, especially if you do it in like Nigeria or you pay pounds for it, you're thinking, I'm going to rock this hair. This maybe 100, 250 pounds. Then
that people overlook, which I love, is crochet installation. Crochet installation. The reason is you can also access your scalp, but all your hair is tucked away. Yes, all your hair.
So crochet is a good option. It's a good protective style, and it allows you to still get to your hair.
Exactly. So you're not manipulating the extensions that's been
too much.
Your styling. You understand?
Yeah.
Then I'd like to say, so I'm so sorry. People with dreadlocks, please do not neglect that you've locked your hair. Does not mean you do not care condition. The only thing is that your own routine is a bit. The products that you will be using might not be as much, or your routine might not be much because you're not detangling, you're not combing, you're not separating and all of that. So please, you must deep condition, moisturize, care for it as usual. Please.
Okay. So don't lock it and forget it and lock it away.
Exactly. If anybody is locking your hair using what's the name? Using anything that is not natural oils or butters, please excuse yourself, because all of that build-up will go into your locks and it will not go well for the locks.
So is that the same as twist? Or twist as well?
Not the twist. Not the twist.
It is locking. Okay. We have a question here from Timita. She wants to know if sew-ins are good for hair. Sew-ins, like weaves when you sew it in.
Yeah, they are okay. So long as when you are taking it out, the person, if it stays too long, some people take as long as 6 months, which is very. Why I prefer crochet to sew-ins is because you can access your scalp freely.
Okay.
But with the sew-ins, I mean, wigs have come to stay. So sew-ins are just turn your weaves to wigs
and put it in. Yeah. And so would you say that wigs are wigs don't hurt our hair? Because I've heard that if you wear wigs a lot, it can affect your baby hair. Is that true?
It can. Okay. Reason is that a lot of people rest their wigs on their eggs directly on their baby hairs.
Yeah.
Now, the fabric that has been used to sew the wigs, they are tough. This material that is quite rough.
Hard, right.
By the time you're pulling and adjusting, it's chafing on your end, it's chafing on your edges.
Okay.
And it's not doing well. That's a lot of problem. Another thing is the wigs that have bands to sew it tightly to your hair, they have a potential to damage your hair. They have a potential because satin and silk, they are the finest, that it will glide, your hair will glide over it and all of that. So it will glide over your hair and also no stress on your hair. But any other thing outside of that, it will chafe on your hair and all. So you want to be careful. It has the potential to damage your hair. The only thing is that use wig caps. Use your wig. Let your wig caps cover as much as possible those edges, and then you now wear your wigs over them, and you are good.
Okay, good point. All right, somebody wanted to share your IG page. You share that in the group, or you can share it here as well. But everybody here, I believe, is in the WhatsApp group as well. Somebody is asking here, can we see a sample of water-based leave-in conditioner later on the platform? You share that, right?
I'll share it. Okay. You cannot know if you don't read the ingredients. That's why I'm always particular about ingredients. Yes, that's why I said that I'm not about you using a particular brand, but know what to look out for. You will see that in water. Most of them will even, some of them will tell you that it's water-based. But how you know it's water-based is when you read the ingredients, you will see water in it for sure. Water.
So is there any particular amount of the water percentage that for you to know that this is water-based?
Most times they don't disclose. You're not because by the time you're disclosing the percentage of all your ingredients, you might as well be giving out your ingredients. Everybody knows you understand. So that's the only thing. But once you see water, then there's a way. There's another way you can tell. You see the first like 5 ingredients. How do I put it now? The first ingredient to the last usually is like the highest percentage. It counts down. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's another way to tell.
Oh, so what they have more of in the product will be at the top.
The first, yes, are usually the first.
I see.
Goes in that one.
Okay, so we should be looking for things like water, shea butter, things like that.
For leave-in conditioner, you should be looking at acetyl alcohol. What's the name? BTMS 60. It could be BTMS 60. It could be e-wax. Yeah, those are things looking out for. Then the oils, the essential oils that might be inside. You can see maybe avocado oil. You can see when all of those things, you know that this one are good.
This is a good product. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. Wow, this is amazing. We have one more question.
Fine.
Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
All right, we have one more question typed here. Somebody wants to know that why are parents who have traction alopecia or see their peers with it no more careful about caring for their children's hair from earlier?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Why are parents
who have traction alopecia or who see their peers with it, why are they not more careful about caring for their children's hair early on?
The difference between them and you is that you are now informed. They are not informed. You know what to do, what not to do. Because when you know what to do, you will not replicate it on your children. Oh God, with the children, that one is even, with children.
That's another session.
That's another session entirely. Because you have to look away. You cannot want good hair for your child. At the same time, want to do all kinds of styles for your child. No. That's another thing entirely, honestly. Mothers just... But the truth is, these principles is still the same basic principles guiding these things. Once you can replicate, nail it down with your hair, your child can also suffer. You see that our children's children will have better hair than our mothers because we are more informed.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Awesome. Wow. Thank you. This was very, very, very informative. Now I'm moving into team retain length, because that's one way I've been struggling with, is retain length. Yes. So that's my own project going forward. And I'm going to try all of these things you've said. A big thing I've taken away is about tucking in your end. So even now I have a ponytail. In fact, before I forget, is gel good for our hair?
I run away from gels as much as possible. The reason is gels are, it's not like, gels that have alcohol in them are not good for our hair.
Okay.
But there are some gels that are still quite okay. Few gels, brands do not readily come to my mind now, but Eco Styler gel. Yes, Eco Styler
is it good?
Okay. Yeah, it's good. The only problem is because of our kind of kinky hair, it does not really hold.
Yeah.
Want to use something that is thicker, you know, the idea of jelly is for it to stay in place.
Yeah.
When it is staying in place, it is hard. When it is hard, cold weather, and
with
it. So it is quote and unquote good for styling, but not necessarily not good for health. For health
hair.
And then so I don't like gelling my hair. I don't. I remember when I used to gel my hair, because my hair, when they gel my hair for me, then my ears will stick out like I just had that thing in my head. I didn't like it. Then knowing what about gels, I'll just go without them.
Yes, okay. So it's important to look. I think our last question we'll take, then we wrap up, is Tolu wants to know, is it good to constantly use extensions with kids' braids?
With kids' beads?
Braids, they're braids.
No, it's actually not. It's not. I've seen too many of these things. See, the hair is fragile. The hair is fragile. And then when you add extensions, the more the extensions, the more weight on the strands. The longer the extensions, the more weight on the strands. And then children are growing. It's just like a plant that is growing. You know, when it is a seedling, it is fragile. If you overwater it, it will die. Actually, the stem, the body starts to get thicker. It has a maturity stage that it has to go through. It does the same thing with our hair. So the child that is just barely out of the womb, I mean, a 10-year-old child just came out of the womb 10 years ago. 10 years is not far. You understand? Also, 5-year-old to sit down for hours, the hair is fragile, and the stylist probably does not even know how to handle fragile hair. Don't know the type of extension. I favor kinky extensions for children because it makes the hair perfectly and is lightweight. But for the regular extensions, they are heavier. Even if you want to put them in, the ratio of hair to the ratio of extensions to the hair that is going to be attached to has to match. It should not be much more than the hair itself. Those are things that upon the hair.
I see. Okay, so you advise don't put, in fact, when my daughter was much younger, I just didn't put extensions in her hair at all. I think we didn't start doing braids till much later. And now she still has her baby hair. Her hair is quite full and big and everything. I think we have to make those, when you see, like you said, when we're more informed, we can make better choices for our children. And I think we can have another session probably just talking about children's hair and all of that. But this was more a crash course for us, the moms, to be aware of what we can do for our hair. We can take these lessons as well and start to implement it in our children's hair. And everybody can get in touch with you to book one-on-one sessions as well. And maybe we'll all take a weekend trip to your end one weekend, and we'll just take turns.
I'm lonely here.
Take turns and get our hair done and come back home.
Honestly, we'll hang out and just do like styling and pictures.
Yeah, that could be fun actually.
I will. I'll be glad.
Okay, we'll plan something like that. All right, I'm aware of the evening. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Please, we'll continue the conversation in our group. And thank you again for sharing this time with us and all of this information. Honestly, really appreciate it. Everybody, do you want to unmute and say bye? And
bye. Thank you so much, Lola. Thank you, Yetty. My name's Yetty. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great week ahead, everyone.
Have a great week. See you in the group. Bye, everyone. Good night. Thanks, Lola. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. All my people.
So all your people. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a lovely week ahead. God bless. Bye.